Well, good evening, church. And this is Elder Dante Shepherd. I'm so excited to be with you this evening. I have the honor of sharing the Monday messages for the month of May. And it's wonderful because this time of the year is one of my favorite time of the years. For one, in April, I turned 40 years old. Yes, it's my birthday, April 24th. So it's coming up to May, but May is wonderful because it's my wife's birthday. It's Mother's Day. Don't we all love our mothers? And then it's my anniversary. Yeah, coming up on 12 years. That's a good time to clap. I'm so excited about that. 12 years of being married to my beautiful and wonderful wife. And so I'm excited about the month of May. And so I get to jump the month of May messages off, and I'm excited about that. This year, May is a little more special because I'm graduating from college. Not my first time, but my best time. All right, that might be for somebody right there. Have you ever did something the second time around and you did it so much better than you did it the first time? And that's really the case for me. This is my second time around of receiving my master's degree. And so it's unctioned me to give you a message about my journey. So this is more of a testimony for me, but it's also a message that I believe is going to encourage you. Over the past month or so, Bishop has been delving into intentional thinking. You know, the way that we think and how we think really determines the outcomes in our life. If we have belief, if we have hope, if we have joy, but if we think on the things that are negative, a lot of times the negativity comes out as well. And so, being intentional is being purposeful, being deliberate, really homing in on the things that you want to accomplish in your life. I was really overtaken by this message over the past month, not because it was time for me to get started, but it was actually I'm in a season where I have been intentionally thinking. I have been intentionally planning. I have been putting things together to better my life. And I hope that this message encourages you, because I've learned a few things over this journey of getting to the time and place of graduating with my master's degree. And so I want to share with you today. And if I was to give you a topic, it would be uncommon favor. Just about a month or two ago, the South Carolina basketball team won the national championship. And before that, they lost a year before to the same team they beat in the championship. It resonated so much with me. And when the coach had an opportunity to speak to the media before she could say anything else, she broke down and she said, "This is the example of God's uncommon favor." What is that? God is favoring you in unfavorable circumstances. And that resonated with my life, because if I was to give you the history of my life, I believe that God has favored me in some unfavorable circumstances. I was born to a teenage mother. I had an absent father. I grew up in poverty. I failed out of college. But yet, I'm still able to finish a master's degree. And that's all because of God's favor. I believe that someone's on here this evening and you've had the odds against you. You've had circumstances that did not go in your favor. But I'm here to encourage you tonight that God is favoring you in some unfavorable situations, some unfavorable opportunities, and you're going to come out victorious. And so I want to share with you what happened to me. So earlier in my college years, when I was an undergrad, when I first started college many years ago, I had a lot of setbacks and failures. I didn't have as much guidance that some others would. I'm actually the first person in my family to go to college, my immediate family, and to graduate college. But it was a gruesome process. I ended up failing 10 classes. Yeah. In college, 10 classes, not because I wasn't smart enough, but because I lacked the organizational skills, I lacked the commitment, I lacked accountability. I lacked the ability to be dedicated to the cause. And when you're in college, or when you're on a job, or when you're a part of a team, you need all of those things to make sure that you have success. And because of that, I ended up failing out. I ended up failing college, and I decided just to work. Well, eventually God opened the door for me to go back. I worked really, really hard, and I graduated. And I was thankful that I graduated, but I knew I did not meet my potential. Because the first year I was in college, the first semester, I had straight A's. Straight A's. So that says that I have the ability. I was smart enough, but I wasn't willing to sacrifice and do what was necessary for me to be successful. So my point one for you this evening is God focuses on your potential and not your failures. How do I know that? In the Bible is the story of Saul. And God chose Saul. First, he changed Saul's name to Paul. But if you know anything about Saul, Saul hated the Christians. He hated anyone who loved Jesus. He hated it so much that he would kill them. All right. He hated them. And so he failed a lot. But God didn't see where he failed more than where he saw his potential. So God changed his name. God gave him a new vision. God gave him new purpose. God gave him new opportunity. And when he did, Paul maximized his potential. He did all he could for the kingdom of God. Is there anybody who feel like your failures have overtaken your potential? I'm here to encourage you today that that is not the case. God sees more in you than you see in yourself. And so he sees your potential. In Jeremiah 29:11, it says, "For I know the plans that I have for you, plans to prosper you and not harm you, plans to give you hope and a future." I'm here to tell you that God has a plan for your life, and he has a future for you, and it's an opportunity for you to maximize your potential. All right, so how do you get there? You get there by accepting Jesus Christ. You get there by accepting that God has all the control over your life. That is very difficult. Some people, that's scary to give up, all right, your power. But when you accept God, you accept his plan, you accept the outcomes, you understand that whatever has happened, if he didn't want it to happen, then he would not have allowed it to happen. All right. When you get into a place of acceptance, then you're able to align with God's plan for you. Not only that, when you get into a place of obedience, one reason that I was failing is because I wasn't obedient. All right. It's simple. It's not scientific, y'all. Obedience is you're a part of a program, and you're supposed to go to class. All right. You know that it's right for you to go to class, but then you choose not to go to class. And then the outcome is that you fail. All right. It's really simple. You know that God would desire you to go to class because he knows you're going to get a positive outcome. All right. Or he tells you to do something like start that new job or apply for that job. Because a lot of times we don't get that opportunity because we haven't even taken the first step. All right. So obedience, acceptance, obedience is really the key to aligning with God's plan. And then what he does for you is he positions you. That's what he did for me. I was obedient. In about 2022, I wrote a plan. The Bible says, write your vision, make it plain. I wrote a plan. I said that I wanted to go to the University of West Florida. I wanted another opportunity for me to finish my degree. And so I did it. I got there. I had to ask someone to give me a chance into the program. I was a little afraid. I felt like I can't get in this program. I don't meet the qualifications. All right. I didn't do well in undergrad, but I was obedient. All right. I was acceptance that this is God's plan. And if he wants me to be in this program, if he wants you to have that job, if he wants you to be in a certain situation, he's going to do it. He's going to open the door for you. So I was obedient. And because of my obedience, he opened the door for me. He gave me an opportunity to get in the program. All right. And I was able to pursue my graduate studies. And so what does that tell you? All right. Point number 2, your character can open doors for you. I want you to understand something here. It wasn't because I had straight A's. All right. I told you I failed. All right. I failed. It took me 10 years to finish my undergraduate degree. All right. And so when they looked at the paperwork, it was not going to open a door for me. But because I did a good job at the college, I was working there. I had good character. I treated people well. I spoke to people well. I worked hard. I was a good steward over my position. I didn't take advantage. I did what they asked me to do and even more. I went above and beyond. So when the opportunity came for me to get a chance to get into this program, someone saw good in me. Someone saw potential in me. Someone wanted to see me as a success story. And so they gave me an opportunity. I'm here to tell you that a lot of times your character precedes your resume. Your character precedes what you have done. Your character precedes your behavior, your failures. People hear about you before they ever see you. All right, I want you to remember this now. People hear about you before they ever see you. All right. Or if you're at a job, okay, your character is what you leave behind. If you leave that job and you go somewhere else, how your coworkers and your boss talk about you lets you know what your character was. All right. You leave a stain. All right. You wherever you go. All right. You go. All right. I want you to get that now. Wherever you go, it doesn't matter where God places you. You still go. All right. People remember who you was and they remember how you made them feel. All right. So what you say doesn't mean as much of how you make people feel. All right. They can feel your attitude. All right. They can feel what you do. And so I was so thankful that I did a good job, that people saw me, all right, as an asset to their organization. Proverbs 22 and 1 says, a good name is more desirable than riches. All right. To be esteemed is better than silver and gold. I want you to understand that I didn't have the funds to get into this program. And if I did, it wouldn't have mattered because I didn't meet the qualifications. All right. But because of God, because of how I represented myself, it opened doors. That's money. Bishop often speaks about currency. That's money. That's currency. Your character is currency. Come on. Yeah, I want you to get that. You might want to put that in the comments. My character is money. Just put the money sign in there. Put a C in a money sign. Your C, your character is money. All right. And so your character can pay for things that monetary money cannot. It can open doors that monetary money cannot. All right. And so you need to know that your character is truly important. I want to encourage you to operate under integrity, operate under humility, operate in kindness. All right. Those three things is where a lot of times we struggle. We struggle to tell the truth. We struggle not to be boastful when opportunity is presented to us or we're pushed in a place of leadership. And then sometimes we just right out mean. We need to be kind. We need to speak kind things. We need to support people and encourage people, affirm people. And it will take you a long way. It speaks a lot about your character when you can lift someone else up. And so point number 1 was God sees your potential more than your failure. Point 2 is your character will open doors for you. It opened doors for me. Point number 3 is you are more than enough. I had a lot of doubt in myself. I didn't believe that I belonged. It was so unique that I was in this program that actually I hired a young lady who was in the program with me many years ago. Matter of fact, she was in high school at that time. And so I'm a full-grown man in this program. Not only that, I was the only African-American male in the program. And so that was a little unique for myself. It made me feel a little uncomfortable sometimes because I was measuring myself up, not because of race, but it wasn't anybody else that I could talk to that identified with me at that time. I had some really good people in the program though. I had some really good classmates, and I was also one of the oldest in the program. So a lot of this felt intimidating, and there were some things I didn't know, but I had to work maybe a little harder. I had to stay in a library a little later. I had to read a little more. I had to ask more questions. I had to go see my professor a little more than others. And so sometimes I felt like I wasn't enough, but God showed me that I am enough. In 2 Corinthians 9, 8, and 11, it says, and God is able to bless you abundantly. It means he's able to give you a lot. He's able to give you more. He's able to give you more than enough, so that in all things at all times, that means in your undergraduate, in your job, that means in your family or in relationships, in all things at all times. That means when you're at 16 years old, if we got a teenager on here, when you're in your 20s, when you're in your 30s, when you're in your 40s. There might be someone who wants to do something new in their life right now, and you feel like, I'm in my 70s. How could I? God says that he can give you all things at all times. There is nothing he can't do at no time in your life, as long as it aligns with the plan that he has for you. So you have to seek his plan. You tell him what your heart, what you desire, and then he aligns that with his plan. All right. So all times he can do those things. It also goes on to say, have all that you need, you will abound in every good work, not bad work now. So you can't ask God for some things to do harm. All right. He doesn't want to supply you the things to do harm. That's why when you see catastrophes in this world, or murders or things like that, and people say they do it in the name of God, you know that God doesn't supply you things to do harm. He said, oh, good work. All right. He wants good work out of us. And so if you operate with character, and you have a desire to do good work, God will supply to you all that you need. If he did it for me, he'll do it for you. He is no respecter of person. All right. If he opened the door for me, he'll open the door for you. All right. If it's education that you want, he'll open the door for you. If it's a job that you want, he'll open the door for you. If it's a house that you want, he'll open the door for you. If it's a relationship that you want to mend or grow or build, he'll open the door for you. All right. You just have to understand that God sees more in you. All right. And he needs you to operate in character, and you need to know that you're more than enough. If you go on to Psalms 139 and 14, it says that you're fearfully and wonderfully made. Your works are wonderful. I know that full well. All right. So you're wonderfully made. You're wonderfully made. You're fearfully made. All right. God spent some time on you. I need you to just touch yourself and say, God spent some time on me. All right. He did his thing when he made me. All right. Well, he did his thing when he made you. All right. So you need to know that you're more than enough. So if there's someone on here this evening that feel like they're just not enough, I don't care about your background. I don't care about your financial situation. I don't care about your education. God says he's more than enough. And the reason that you're more than enough is because he will give you the resources. He will give you the people. He will give you the finances. He will put you in position to accomplish what you have desired to accomplish, as long as it aligns with his plan. I told you that this message is uncommon favor. God is favoring you in unfavorable circumstances. He is going to give you extraordinary benefits. You know, when you get a new job, you often look at your package, and it's not just about how much money you make, but it's about the benefits. God is going to give you extraordinary benefits. When you accept Jesus Christ, you get extraordinary benefits. He gives that to you. All right. And so you're going to have extraordinary benefits and special treatment. How many of y'all would like some special treatment? He's going to uncommon favors, benefits, and special treatment. People won't even understand what happened. They don't understand what happened with me. They don't understand how I changed because people who knew me in the past would say, that's not who he is. Or if they don't know me now, but God changed me, he'll change you. He'll give you special treatment to announce to everyone. All right, it's not about you. I want to be clear here. It's not about the graduation. It's not about you being lifted up. All right. It's not about the finances. All right. That's not his ultimate goal. God understands that if he does this through your life, he's going to be lifted up. He's going to be lifted up. And when he does that, everyone will see that his hand rests on your life. I need you to really get that, so that when he lifts you up, all right, to show himself in full power, you don't feel like you did it. You make sure that you give God all the glory and honor, and don't hold it. All right. Many times we'll have God do something in our life and we won't share it with anybody. We won't tell anybody. We'll say it ain't for everybody. Everybody don't need to know my business. I'm not saying you have to give every single detail. But what I'm saying is the details that you give should lift him up. It should tell people that God did this, and it is marvelous what he has done in your life. All right. I need you to make sure that you share it. That's why I didn't hold this in. That's why I'm telling you, God put me in position that I could get my master's degree. He put me in position even when I didn't deserve it, even when I probably didn't qualify, but he qualified me. And then he touched the heart of man and placed me. And he said, do the work. Because sometimes God will pull us there, but he's not going to give us everything. You got to do the work. So if he would have put me in a program and I wasn't willing to study, then I have failed. I have not taken full advantage of God's plan for my life. He positioned me, and then I didn't take advantage of it. So I'm telling you, you want to give him all the glory. I want you to understand something. Trust in his plan for you. Trust in his plan for you. Focus on building your character. If you're not the right person, God can't put you in the right situation. You got to be the right person. So fix the heart. Fix that unforgiveness. Fix that boastfulness. Fix that lack of humility. Fix that lack of love. Fix that lack of grace. Whatever you're struggling with, that anger, that attitude, the way you speak to people, whatever that is, fix your character so that God can put you in position, and believe that you are more than enough in his eyes. Don't worry about what anybody else thinks of you. Know that you're more than enough in his eyes. I hope that this has been a wonderful message for you this evening. I hope that I have encouraged you. I hope that I make you want to get up and do something. I hope that I make you want to accept Jesus Christ into your life. If you have not accepted Jesus Christ, we want to give you an opportunity to do so. Romans 10:9 says that if you believe in your heart and you confess with your mouth, it's so easy for you to accept Jesus Christ. And so if you could just do that, if you don't need anybody in a room with you, all you have to do is take a moment and believe it and speak it, and then he becomes your God. All right. He becomes your God. And then you have to begin to be obedient so God can position you within his plan. I hope this starts off your week and you have an incredible week. Meet your potential, maximize your potential, build your character, and know that you're more than enough. This is Elder Dante Shepherd, and I pray that you be blessed. Remember that we love you and God loves you most.